Rebuild yourself. Let your focus be on you every day. Written by Justin Tracy. Published by Simple Audiobooks. Introduction. Life is a continuous process of growth, change, and self-discovery. Yet many people find themselves trapped in cycles that prevent them from evolving into their best selves. Whether due to fear, doubt, societal expectations, or personal insecurities, it's easy to get stuck in a place where progress feels out of reach. Rebuilding yourself is not about completely discarding who you are, but about refining, strengthening, and evolving into the person you were always meant to become. It's about taking full ownership of your life, shifting your focus inward, and making a conscious effort every day to improve, grow, and transform. Too often, people spend their lives seeking external validation, chasing approval from family, friends, or society, only to realize that no amount of recognition or praise can fill the void that comes from neglecting oneself. This constant need for outside affirmation becomes a trap, keeping individuals from prioritizing their own well-being and personal development. Instead of waiting for others to recognize your worth, the key to true transformation lies in self-acceptance, self-discipline, and an unwavering commitment to your own journey. Focusing on yourself does not mean becoming selfish or detached from the world. Rather, it means learning to give yourself the time, energy, and attention needed to build a strong foundation for lasting fulfillment. Many people lose themselves in distractions, negative relationships, unhealthy habits, self-doubt, or the endless cycle of comparison to others, never realizing that their power lies in directing their attention inward. The mind is constantly influenced by external noise, from social media to the opinions of others. But real progress begins when you detach from these distractions and start listening to your own inner voice. When you rebuild yourself, you cultivate a mindset of self-reliance and resilience, ensuring that your confidence and motivation come from within rather than from fleeting external sources. This shift allows you to approach life with clarity, purpose, and determination, free from the constraints of societal expectations or past conditioning. True personal transformation happens when you take consistent action toward growth, no matter how small the steps may seem. It is not about achieving instant success, but about committing to daily habits and mindsets that contribute to long-term progress. Self-discipline plays a crucial role in this process, as it allows you to stay focused even when motivation fades. The ability to make sacrifices, to set clear goals, and to remain persistent despite challenges is what separates those who thrive from those who remain stagnant. Rebuilding yourself requires embracing discomfort, facing fears, and pushing beyond perceived limitations. It is about recognizing that setbacks and failures are not indicators of defeat, but opportunities for learning and self-improvement. Every mistake, every obstacle, and every hardship contains valuable lessons that can shape you into a stronger, wiser, and more capable individual. Personal growth is not a destination, but a continuous journey. There is no final version of yourself to reach, only a constant process of learning, evolving, and refining who you are. Each day presents a new chance to focus on your goals, your mindset, and your personal development. The more you prioritize yourself, the more you will realize that your happiness, success, and fulfillment are within your control. Society often conditions people to believe that focusing on themselves is selfish, but the truth is that self-investment is one of the most powerful things you can do. When you build yourself up, you become stronger not just for yourself, but for those around you. You set an example for others, inspire change, and contribute more meaningfully to the world. Rebuilding yourself is not about waiting for the perfect moment, nor is it about dwelling on the past or feeling regret for what could have been. It is about taking action now, starting where you are with what you have, and making a commitment to yourself every single day. It means recognizing that you have the power to shape your own future, regardless of your past experiences or current circumstances. The journey of self-rebuilding is one of empowerment, self-discovery, and unshakable confidence. It is about stepping into your true potential and refusing to settle for anything less than the life you are capable of creating. Every moment you spend working on yourself, prioritizing your well-being. And building a mindset of resilience brings you one step closer to the person you aspire to be. You are not defined by where you have been, but by the choices you make today and every day moving forward. Your life is your responsibility, and the power to rebuild yourself lies in your hands. Chapter 1. Understanding the art of rebuilding. Rebuilding yourself is a deeply personal and transformative journey that requires a complete shift in mindset, habits, and self-perception. It is not simply about making surface-level changes or temporarily improving certain aspects of life, but about reconstructing yourself from the inside out. Many people find themselves trapped in repetitive cycles of frustration, stagnation, and self-doubt because they hold on to past mistakes, unhealthy attachments, or limiting beliefs that prevent them from evolving. The process of rebuilding begins with the realization that you are not bound by your past, your failures, or the opinions of others. It requires an honest and sometimes uncomfortable self-assessment, examining your thought patterns, behaviors, and the way you respond to challenges. Often, people look for external reasons to explain their circumstances, blaming bad luck, difficult relationships, or unfavorable conditions. Yet true transformation only happens when you take full ownership of your life. Every experience, whether good or bad, is an opportunity to learn and grow. But many fail to recognize this and instead allow setbacks to define them. Understanding the art of rebuilding means shifting your perspective to see failures as lessons, hardships as tests of resilience, and obstacles as stepping stones to success. This shift in mindset is not easy, because the human brain is wired to seek comfort and familiarity. Even if those patterns are destructive, growth demands discomfort, as breaking old habits, detaching from negativity, and reprogramming your mind require effort and discipline. It is easy to fall into the trap of waiting for the right time to change, but the truth is, there is never a perfect moment to start. The key is to begin now, exactly where you are, with what you have, instead of waiting for conditions to be ideal. The process of rebuilding yourself is not linear, and it is not something that happens overnight. Some days, you will feel highly motivated and inspired, while other days, you may struggle with doubt and frustration. The important thing is to remain consistent and committed, even when progress feels slow. It is crucial to understand that small daily improvements, when compounded over time, create massive transformations. A common mistake people make is expecting immediate results, but real change requires patience. Just as a house is built brick by brick, personal growth is built through small, intentional actions that reinforce new habits and perspectives. Developing self-discipline is essential because motivation alone is unreliable. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline ensures that you continue pushing forward even when the excitement fades. This means committing to the actions and routines that lead to long-term success, such as setting goals, practicing self-reflection, and removing distractions that hinder progress. Equally important is learning to embrace setbacks rather than fear them. Many people abandon their journey of self-rebuilding the moment they face failure, believing that a single mistake means they are not capable of change. In reality, setbacks are an inevitable part of growth, and they serve as opportunities to refine strategies, strengthen resilience, and gain deeper self-awareness. Instead of viewing failure as an endpoint, successful individuals see it as feedback, a way to adjust, improve, and come back stronger. One of the most challenging yet crucial aspects of rebuilding yourself is breaking free from the limitations imposed by your past. Many people hold on to outdated identities, labels they have been given by society, past traumas, or self-imposed beliefs that prevent them from evolving. They allow their past failures, mistakes, or experiences to dictate their future, believing that change is impossible. However, the truth is that every moment presents an opportunity to redefine yourself. The person you were yesterday does not have to be the person you are today. And the person you are today is not limited to being the person you will be tomorrow. Change is always possible, but only if you are willing to let go of the old version of yourself that no longer serves you. This requires courage, as many fear the unknown, and would rather stay in familiar pain than step into uncertain growth. But true transformation happens when you push past fear and embrace the possibility of becoming someone greater than you ever imagined. This means shedding toxic relationships, eliminating negative self-talk, and breaking out of comfort zones that keep you stagnant. It also means developing the ability to stand alone when necessary, focusing on your own path rather than seeking approval or validation from others. When you rely on external approval, you give away your power. But when you learn to validate yourself, trust your journey, and believe in your ability to grow, you become unstoppable. Rebuilding yourself also involves reprogramming your mind, as your thoughts shape your reality. Many people sabotage their growth because they carry limiting beliefs such as "I'm not good enough," "I'll never change," or "it's too late for me." These thoughts create mental barriers that prevent progress before it even begins. The mind is incredibly powerful, and whatever you repeatedly tell yourself becomes your truth. This is why it is essential to practice self-awareness and actively challenge negative thoughts. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," shift your mindset to, "I am capable of learning and improving." Instead of thinking, "I've failed too many times," reframe it as, "Every setback is teaching me something valuable." Over time, these small mental shifts create a profound difference in how you approach life. When you train your mind to focus on growth, possibilities, and solutions rather than limitations, you develop the resilience to push forward regardless of obstacles. Your mindset determines your reality, and by cultivating a strong, positive, and growth-oriented perspective, you set yourself up for success. The art of rebuilding yourself is not just about changing your actions, but about transforming your entire way of thinking, living, and interacting with the world. It is about taking full control of your destiny, refusing to be defined by your past, and stepping into the highest version of yourself. It is not a temporary phase, but a lifelong commitment to growth, self-improvement, and becoming the best possible version of yourself. Every single day, you have a choice to remain the same or to take small steps toward transformation. No one else can do it for you. True change comes from within. The more you focus on your own journey, the more you will realize that you are not bound by your circumstances, but by your willingness to take action. You are not a victim of life. You are the creator of it. The process of rebuilding is one of self-discovery, self-mastery, and self-liberation. It is about understanding that no matter how many times life knocks you down, you have the power to rise again, stronger, wiser, and more unstoppable than ever before. Chapter 2. Letting go of external validation. Letting go of external validation is one of the most transformative and freeing experiences in life, yet it is also one of the hardest, because humans are naturally wired to seek acceptance and approval from others. From childhood, people are conditioned to crave praise, whether from parents, teachers, or peers, and this need for validation often continues into adulthood, shaping decisions, behaviors, and even self-worth. Society reinforces this dependency by constantly presenting standards of success, beauty, and happiness that encourage people to measure their worth based on external approval rather than internal fulfillment. Many individuals go through life desperately trying to fit into expectations set by family, friends, colleagues, and even strangers, often suppressing their own desires and authenticity in the process. The problem with this approach is that external validation is fleeting, inconsistent, and unreliable. What is praised today may be criticized tomorrow, and what pleases one person may disappoint another. Living for the approval of others creates a fragile sense of self-worth that fluctuates based on external opinions, making it impossible to find true contentment. People trapped in this cycle often feel anxious, constantly overthinking how they are perceived, and fearful of making choices that might lead to disapproval or rejection. This dependency can be emotionally exhausting, leading to feelings of inadequacy, insecurity, and even resentment when efforts to gain validation go unnoticed or unappreciated. The truth is, no amount of compliments, recognition, or social approval can ever fill the void created by a lack of self-acceptance. The only lasting validation comes from within by developing an unshakable belief in oneself and embracing personal worth, independent of how others react. Breaking free from the need for external validation requires deep self-reflection to uncover where this dependency originated. Many people develop this need from early experiences. Perhaps they were only praised when they achieved something, or they were criticized when they expressed their true thoughts and emotions. Some people have been conditioned to believe that their value depends on their accomplishments, attractiveness, or social status, leading them to constantly seek approval to feel worthy. Others may have experienced rejection or judgment that left them afraid of being their true selves, leading them to conform to what is expected rather than embracing their individuality. Recognizing these patterns is the first step to dismantling them. It is crucial to understand that validation from others is not a measure of personal worth. It is merely a reflection of individual preferences, biases, and opinions that have nothing to do with reality. A person could be admired in one environment and criticized in another, proving that external approval is subjective and ever-changing. Realizing this helps remove the pressure to constantly seek acceptance, allowing for greater freedom to make choices based on what truly aligns with personal values, goals, and desires. The more a person understands their own worth, the less they rely on others to confirm it. Letting go of external validation is building self-confidence from within, which requires redefining self-worth based on internal standards rather than outside feedback. This process involves shifting focus from seeking approval to self-acceptance, from people-pleasing to personal integrity, and from fear of judgment to self-trust. It requires learning to be comfortable with making decisions that others may not always agree with and embracing individuality, even when it does not conform to societal expectations. It is about understanding that true confidence does not come from being liked by everyone, but from having the courage to be authentic regardless of others' opinions. Developing this mindset is not easy, as it goes against years of conditioning, but it is essential for personal growth, emotional freedom, and long-term fulfillment. A person who is no longer controlled by the opinions of others becomes more decisive, independent, and self-assured, able to pursue their passions and goals without fear of criticism. This does not mean ignoring feedback or becoming completely indifferent to others, but rather learning to filter constructive criticism from unhelpful opinions and recognizing that external validation is not necessary for our happiness. One of the biggest obstacles in letting go of external validation is the fear of rejection. Many people hold themselves back from speaking their minds, following their dreams, or setting boundaries because they worry about how others will react. They fear disappointing their parents, upsetting their friends, or being judged by society, so they remain trapped in a cycle of seeking approval while sacrificing their own needs. However, true self-respect comes from living authentically rather than bending to fit into others' expectations. It is important to understand that no matter how much effort is put into gaining approval, there will always be people who disapprove, criticize, or misunderstand. The difference between those who thrive and those who struggle is that the former do not let the fear of disapproval dictate their lives. Instead of worrying about whether others will accept their choices, they focus on whether their choices align with their own values and aspirations. The ability to stand firm in one's decisions, even in the face of criticism, is a powerful indicator of self-confidence and personal strength. Releasing the need for validation also involves setting clear boundaries and refusing to let external expectations dictate personal happiness. Many people feel pressure to live up to societal standards that do not reflect their true desires, whether in careers, relationships, or personal goals. Some remain in jobs they dislike because they fear disappointing their families, while others pursue relationships that do not fulfill them because they are afraid of being alone or judged. Letting go of external validation, rejecting the idea that happiness must come from conforming to social norms, and instead embracing the freedom to create a life that feels meaningful and fulfilling on a personal level. It means recognizing that self-worth is not determined by status, appearance, achievements, or popularity, but by the ability to live in alignment with one's truth. The more a person prioritizes self-acceptance, the less they are affected by outside opinions. Over time, they begin to see that validation from others is irrelevant compared to the deep sense of fulfillment that comes from living authentically. Although the journey of detaching from external validation can be challenging, it is one of the most empowering steps in personal growth. It requires consistent effort, as years of conditioning do not disappear overnight. However, every step taken towards self-acceptance strengthens confidence and independence. The moment a person stops seeking validation and starts living for themselves, they experience a newfound sense of peace, clarity, and freedom. Decisions become easier because they are based on personal values rather than fear of judgment. Relationships become more fulfilling because they are built on mutual respect rather than a desperate need for approval. Success becomes more rewarding because it is measured by internal fulfillment rather than external praise. The most successful, happy, and self-assured individuals are not those who are constantly seeking validation, but those who have learned to trust themselves, embrace their uniqueness, and live without fear of disapproval. Ultimately, the only validation that truly matters is the one that comes from within, because no amount of external approval can ever replace the power of deep, unshakable self-belief. Chapter 3. Developing unshakable discipline. Developing unshakable discipline is the most powerful skill anyone can cultivate because it determines success in every aspect of life, from personal growth to professional achievements, health, relationships, and financial stability. Discipline is what separates those who accomplish extraordinary things from those who remain stuck in mediocrity. Unlike motivation, which is temporary and depends on emotions, discipline is about consistency, commitment, and the ability to take action regardless of how one feels. Many people struggle with discipline because they associate it with force, restriction, or sacrifice, but true discipline is about freedom, the freedom to create the life one desires by consistently taking the right actions. It is about understanding that every small choice matters, that skipping a workout, procrastinating on a task, or indulging in distractions may seem insignificant in the moment, but, over time, accumulate into failure. On the other hand, every disciplined decision builds momentum, strengthens mental toughness, and compounds into massive success. Discipline requires mastering the mind, overriding impulses, and making choices based on long-term goals rather than immediate gratification. Most people fail because they let emotions dictate their actions, waiting until they feel like working hard. But the most disciplined individuals understand that feelings are unreliable, and that true progress comes from taking action regardless of mood. They know that successful people wake up early to work on their goals when others sleep, go to the gym when others make excuses, study when others are scrolling social media, and push through discomfort while others seek an easy way out. The disciplined person understands that pain, boredom, frustration, and setbacks are all part of the journey, and that the only way to overcome them is to keep going, never letting temporary feelings interfere with long-term success. To develop unshakable discipline, one must begin with clarity, knowing exactly what they want to achieve and why it matters. Without a strong reason, discipline becomes a struggle because there is no deeper purpose driving the effort. A clear goal acts as a guiding force, making it easier to stay focused, avoid distractions, and push through resistance. Once the goal is defined, the next step is creating a structured plan, breaking it down into specific, measurable steps, and setting non-negotiable daily habits. Success is not achieved overnight, but through repeated, disciplined actions taken every single day, even when progress feels slow. This is where most people give up: when results do not appear quickly, when setbacks arise, or when the initial excitement wears off. But the disciplined person persists, understanding that growth is happening beneath the surface, that every effort, no matter how small, is building towards something greater. One of the biggest challenges in developing discipline is overcoming resistance, the internal voice that whispers excuses, urges procrastination, and seeks comfort over effort. Resistance is strongest at the beginning of any task, but once action is taken, momentum builds and discipline strengthens. The key is to eliminate unnecessary decision-making by establishing solid routines, automating positive habits, and making discipline the default mode of operation. Instead of debating whether to work out, read, study, or hustle, a disciplined person follows a schedule, removing the option to slack off. They do not negotiate with themselves, understanding that every time they give in to laziness, it becomes easier to do so again. Discipline is also about learning to say no to distractions, temptations, and anything that does not align with personal goals. Many people struggle with discipline because they allow their environment to sabotage their progress. They surround themselves with negative influences, waste time on unproductive activities, and fail to set boundaries. A disciplined individual protects their focus, eliminating anything that drains energy or shifts attention away from what truly matters. This may mean cutting down on social media, spending less time with unmotivated people, or creating a workspace free from distractions. It requires self-awareness to recognize habits that lead to procrastination and the courage to replace them with productive behaviors. The most disciplined individuals create an environment that supports success, structuring their days to minimize distractions and maximize efficiency. They understand that willpower alone is not enough. Real discipline comes from setting up systems that make it easier to stay consistent. One of the most effective ways to strengthen discipline is by mastering small habits, because discipline, like a muscle, grows stronger with use. Starting with small commitments, such as waking up at the same time every day, exercising for just 10 minutes, or reading for a few minutes before bed, builds the foundation for greater discipline. Over time, these habits expand, and what once felt difficult becomes second nature. Another key element of unshakable discipline is mental toughness, the ability to keep going even when everything feels difficult. Life will always present challenges, whether it be failures, rejections, setbacks, or unexpected obstacles. But a disciplined person does not let these things derail them. They understand that setbacks are temporary, that failure is a lesson, and that true success requires resilience. They do not waste time complaining, making excuses, or blaming circumstances. Instead, they focus on solutions, adapt, and keep moving forward. This level of discipline requires mastering emotions, learning to control thoughts, and refusing to let fear, doubt, or laziness interfere with progress. One of the biggest myths about discipline is that it requires extreme willpower, but in reality, discipline is about habits, structure, and mindset. The most successful people in the world are not necessarily the most talented, intelligent, or lucky. They are the ones who consistently show up, put in the work, and refuse to quit. A disciplined person also understands the importance of accountability. They do not make empty promises to themselves, but treat commitments with the same seriousness as they would a contract. They hold themselves to high standards, tracking progress, setting deadlines, and ensuring they follow through on their plans. When they slip up, they do not allow one mistake to spiral into failure. They acknowledge it, correct it, and get back on track immediately. They do not rely on external motivation, but cultivate an inner drive that pushes them forward, no matter what. Developing unshakable discipline is not about being perfect, it is about being consistent, learning from mistakes, and refusing to give up. Those who master discipline understand that success is not built on occasional bursts of effort, but on relentless commitment, unwavering focus, and the ability to push forward even when progress feels invisible. Over time, discipline becomes an identity, no longer something that requires effort, but a natural part of who a person is. They wake up every day knowing that their success depends on their actions, and they take full responsibility for shaping their future. Ultimately, developing unshakable discipline is about taking full control of life, refusing to let circumstances, emotions, or distractions dictate success. It is about making a decision to commit, to show up, to do the work, and to never quit, no matter how difficult the journey becomes. It is understanding that every great achievement is built on thousands of small, disciplined choices, repeated consistently over time. The most powerful individuals in the world are not those who wait for motivation or seek shortcuts, but those who embrace discipline as a way of life. They understand that discomfort is temporary, but the rewards of discipline last forever. Those who develop unshakable discipline unlock limitless potential, because once a person learns to master their actions, habits, and mindset, there is nothing they cannot achieve. Chapter 4. The Power of Self-Focus. The power of self-focus is an essential concept that empowers individuals to take charge of their lives by turning their attention inward rather than constantly seeking external validation or being distracted by outside influences. In a world where people are often caught up in the rush of others' opinions, societal pressures, and the constant bombardment of distractions, focusing on oneself is a radical, yet transformative practice. Self-focus is not about being self-absorbed or indifferent to the needs of others, but rather about creating a sense of inner clarity and alignment with one's own values, goals, and aspirations. This type of focus means prioritizing your personal growth, emotional well-being, and mental peace over the fleeting judgments of others or the expectations imposed by society. When you focus on yourself, you free up mental and emotional energy that would otherwise be spent trying to meet external standards, and instead, you direct that energy toward your own purpose. It involves looking at your life through the lens of your own truth and recognizing that no one else can dictate your journey, success, or happiness except you. In a world full of distractions, whether it's the constant influx of information from social media, the opinions of friends or family, or the expectations set by societal norms, it's easy to lose sight of your own path. These external pressures can make it difficult to make decisions that align with your true self, often causing you to compromise your goals, desires, and even values in order to fit into a mold that is not truly yours. Self-focus challenges this by encouraging you to turn inward and tune out the noise, helping you to rediscover your own voice and set your own priorities. The essence of self-focus is self-awareness, understanding who you are, what you want, and what truly matters to you. By cultivating this self-awareness, you are better equipped to make choices that are in alignment with your true desires and not simply a reaction to external expectations. It's about learning to trust your inner guidance and recognizing that only by focusing on your personal growth can you create a life that is meaningful and fulfilling. Self-focus also requires you to take responsibility for your life. It means realizing that you are the architect of your own happiness, and that external factors, including the opinions of others, do not have the power to define your worth or dictate your journey. This kind of responsibility allows you to break free from the habit of seeking approval and validation from others, which often results in living a life dictated by others' standards rather than your own. When you learn to focus on yourself, you start to recognize that it's not the world's approval that leads to success, but your own internal commitment and sense of direction. This self-directed approach to life encourages individuals to invest in their personal development, whether it's building skills, pursuing passions, working on mental health, or taking care of physical health. Self-focus requires discipline and the ability to resist the pull of distractions, which often present themselves in the form of short-term pleasures that divert attention away from long-term growth. Whether it's procrastination, negative relationships, or unhealthy habits, these distractions can prevent you from achieving your full potential. By focusing inward, you begin to identify these obstacles and take proactive steps to overcome them, making disciplined choices that align with your personal growth. Another aspect of self-focus is learning to set boundaries, which is essential for protecting your time, energy, and well-being. Without self-focus, it's easy to overextend yourself by saying yes to things that do not contribute to your personal development, whether they are obligations that are not aligned with your goals or relationships that drain your energy. By focusing on yourself, You learn to say no to things that do not serve your highest purpose, creating space for activities and people that contribute to your well-being and progress. Setting clear boundaries also means not allowing others to impose their expectations or judgments on you. It's about establishing a life that reflects your values, not someone else's, and recognizing that your time and energy are valuable resources that should be used to move towards your personal vision of success. Setting boundaries also requires emotional intelligence, as you learn to protect yourself from people or situations that may cause unnecessary stress, guilt, or negativity. These boundaries help you to cultivate a life that is free from unnecessary drama and distractions, allowing you to fully immerse yourself in your personal growth. Self-focus also entails developing self-compassion, as it encourages you to treat yourself with the same kindness, understanding, and patience that you would offer to others. This self-compassion is vital because the process of focusing on yourself can sometimes bring up difficult emotions, past wounds, or self-doubt. Instead of pushing these feelings away, self-focus encourages you to face them head-on with understanding, using them as opportunities for growth and healing. It's about forgiving yourself for past mistakes, embracing your imperfections, and acknowledging that you are worthy of love and respect just as you are. A powerful aspect of self-focus is learning to cultivate resilience. Life inevitably presents challenges, and when you focus on yourself, you learn to see these obstacles as opportunities to grow stronger, rather than as reasons to give up or be defeated. Self-focus builds emotional resilience because it teaches you to rely on your inner strength, recognizing that you have the power to navigate difficulties, adapt, and continue moving forward. Instead of seeking external solutions or relying on others for support, self-focus encourages you to develop the internal resources necessary to handle life's challenges with grace and determination. Resilience also involves learning from setbacks and failures, using them as stepping stones toward future success, rather than as excuses to quit. By embracing self-focus, you shift your perspective on challenges and learn to view them as integral parts of your journey, each one providing valuable lessons that shape your growth. The more you cultivate self-focus, the more you learn to embrace uncertainty and discomfort, trusting that you have the strength and ability to overcome whatever obstacles come your way. One of the most significant benefits of self-focus is the ability to let go of comparison. In a world where social media constantly presents curated, idealized versions of other people's lives, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparing yourself to others. This comparison can lead to feelings of inadequacy, jealousy, and self-doubt, distracting you from your own path. Self-focus allows you to stop measuring your progress against others, understanding that everyone has their own unique journey. When you focus on yourself, you stop caring about how others are doing or what they have accomplished, and instead, you channel your energy into your own growth. This creates a sense of liberation, as you realize that your only competition is yourself. The only person you need to compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday, striving to be better than you were before. This mindset shift enables you to embrace your individuality and the uniqueness of your journey, rather than getting caught up in the illusions of perfection that others present. Self-focus also improves your decision-making abilities because it teaches you to make choices that align with your long-term goals, rather than simply reacting to external influences or immediate desires. When you are focused on your own growth, every decision, whether personal or professional, becomes an opportunity to move closer to your desired future. Instead of succumbing to external pressures or the opinions of others, you start to ask yourself what will benefit your growth, your peace of mind, and your long-term happiness. This internal decision-making process helps you prioritize what is truly important and reject the distractions that do not contribute to your vision. Through self-focus, you learn to trust your intuition and make choices with confidence, knowing that your path is uniquely your own, and that each step you take is an investment in your future. Finally, self-focus creates a sense of clarity and direction in life. When you constantly look outward for answers or validation, you are left with confusion and uncertainty about who you really are and what you truly want. Self-focus forces you to slow down, reflect, and align your actions with your core values. This clarity gives you a strong sense of purpose and direction, helping you make decisions that align with your long-term goals and true desires. It also fosters a sense of inner peace, as you are no longer swayed by the constant pull of external influences. Self-focus helps you stay true to your vision, remain consistent in your actions, and continue moving forward with confidence, knowing that you are on the right path for yourself. Chapter 5. Strengthening your mindset. Strengthening your mindset is not simply about thinking positively, but about deliberately cultivating a mental framework that allows you to consistently persevere, adapt, and thrive in the face of life's inevitable struggles. A powerful mindset is like a mental armor. It protects you from the inevitable blows of self-doubt, criticism, and failure, and helps you remain steadfast and resilient, no matter the challenges that arise. To strengthen your mindset, you must first develop an awareness of the way you think, recognizing the patterns of negative self-talk and limiting beliefs that may have been ingrained over time. These thought patterns, often shaped by past experiences, societal influences, or even your upbringing, can hold you back from reaching your full potential. They might convince you that you are not good enough, that failure is something to be avoided at all costs, or that certain goals are simply out of reach. Strengthening your mindset begins with identifying and confronting these beliefs, and challenging their validity. You must start questioning the stories you've been telling yourself, and replace them with empowering narratives that support your growth and aspirations. For example, instead of seeing a failure as confirmation of your inadequacy, you begin to reframe it as a valuable learning experience that brings you one step closer to your goals. This shift in perspective is not instantaneous. It requires a willingness to look at your thoughts critically and the commitment to replace old, limiting beliefs with new, expansive ones. One of the cornerstones of a strong mindset is a growth-oriented perspective. People with a growth mindset believe that their abilities, intelligence, and potential can be developed over time through dedication, effort, and learning. They do not view their current state as their permanent state. When faced with challenges or obstacles, they see them as opportunities to develop new skills, build resilience, and grow stronger. This mindset allows them to stay motivated and persistent, even when progress seems slow or setbacks occur. By contrast, individuals with a fixed mindset tend to believe that their abilities are set in stone, that they are either good enough or not good enough based on their inherent traits. This belief can cause them to avoid challenges, give up in the face of difficulty, or resist feedback. Strengthening your mindset requires deliberately shifting toward a growth-oriented outlook, where you embrace challenges, seek out constructive criticism, and view setbacks as opportunities for growth. Instead of shying away from discomfort or failure, you begin to embrace these as integral parts of the journey. The more you practice this mindset, the more natural it becomes, and the more resilient you grow in the face of adversity. Building a resilient and strong mindset also involves developing emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your emotions. Emotional intelligence allows you to stay calm and composed in high-pressure situations, to make decisions based on logic and clarity rather than being ruled by impulse or negative emotions, and to regulate your responses rather than reacting instinctively. Strengthening your mindset requires cultivating a deep sense of self-awareness, so you can identify when negative emotions like fear, frustration, or anger are taking hold, and consciously choose how to respond. For example, when faced with an unexpected setback, someone with emotional intelligence might recognize feelings of frustration, but will consciously choose not to let those emotions dictate their behavior. Instead of becoming discouraged or reacting out of anger, they can pause, reflect, and assess the situation rationally, ensuring that they make decisions that are in line with their long-term goals, rather than temporary emotional reactions. This emotional regulation is key to building mental toughness, as it allows you to stay focused on your goals without being derailed by momentary feelings of doubt or discouragement. Part of strengthening your mindset involves learning to manage your inner dialogue, the voice inside your head that can either propel you forward or hold you back. This inner dialogue is a powerful force because it shapes how you view yourself, how you approach challenges, and whether you take risks or play it safe. Many people unknowingly sabotage their own success by giving too much power to negative thoughts like "I'm not good enough," "I'll never make it," or "I'm not capable of succeeding." Strengthening your mindset requires intentionally replacing these negative, self-limiting thoughts with affirmations, constructive self-talk, and empowering beliefs. Instead of letting fear control your decisions, you begin to speak to yourself in a way that encourages action and confidence. For example, you might replace "I'm afraid I'll fail" with "I'm capable of handling whatever comes my way," and failure is part of the learning process. You begin to realize that the thoughts you think shape your reality, so by controlling your inner narrative, you can control your outcomes. Another key component of a strong mindset is self-discipline, the ability to stay focused on your long-term goals, even when temptations or distractions arise. Strengthening your mindset is about developing the mental fortitude to stay on course, even when it's difficult, inconvenient, or uncomfortable. It requires a high degree of commitment and consistency. You must learn to say no to short-term pleasures or distractions that pull you away from your purpose, and instead, stay focused on what truly matters. Self-discipline is not about rigidity or depriving yourself of joy. It is about setting clear goals, creating habits that align with those goals, and adhering to your commitments, no matter how difficult it may seem in the moment. It's about creating a routine that supports your long-term success, even when motivation wanes. A strong mindset means that you rely on discipline, not fleeting bursts of motivation, to keep you moving forward. One of the greatest benefits of strengthening your mindset is the ability to remain focused and positive in the face of setbacks. Life is full of challenges, disappointments, and obstacles that can easily derail your progress if you're not mentally prepared to handle them. People with a strong mindset know that setbacks are a natural part of the process. They do not define them, nor do they stop them. Instead of seeing failure as the end, they view it as a valuable part of the journey that helps them grow. Strengthening your mindset involves developing the emotional resilience to persevere when things don't go according to plan. It's about bouncing back stronger after each setback, learning from the experience, and using it as fuel to continue pushing forward. Individuals with a strong mindset are not easily discouraged because they have learned to separate their self-worth from external outcomes. They understand that their value is not determined by success or failure, but by their willingness to keep going no matter the circumstances. To strengthen your mindset, you must also embrace a sense of personal responsibility. This means recognizing that you are in control of your actions, your reactions, and your outcomes. When you take full responsibility for your life, you stop blaming others or external circumstances for your challenges. Instead, you recognize that you have the power to create change and shape your future. Personal responsibility means owning your mistakes, learning from them, and making improvements, rather than pointing fingers or playing the victim. When you take responsibility for your actions, you shift from a passive to an active role in your life, understanding that your future is determined by the choices you make today. Another important aspect of strengthening your mindset is developing patience and perseverance. It's easy to become discouraged when results don't come quickly or when progress feels slow. Strengthening your mindset requires learning to trust the process and understand that success is rarely immediate. People with a strong mindset are willing to put in the time, effort, and consistency required to achieve their goals, even when the results are not immediately visible. They understand that real, lasting change takes time, and that it's the accumulation of small, disciplined actions over time that leads to success. The ability to stay patient and keep working, even when progress seems imperceptible, is a hallmark of a strong mindset. Lastly, strengthening your mindset involves learning how to embrace uncertainty. Life is unpredictable, and the ability to stay mentally strong in the face of uncertainty is essential for long-term success. People with a strong mindset are not paralyzed by fear of the unknown. Instead, they remain flexible, adaptable, and open to new opportunities. They understand that uncertainty is a natural part of life, and that it's often during uncertain times that the greatest growth occurs. Strengthening your mindset allows you to approach life with confidence, trusting that you have the skills, resources, and resilience to handle whatever comes your way. With a strong mindset, you learn to embrace the unknown with excitement and curiosity, rather than fear and hesitation. Strengthening your mindset is not about being perfect. It's about developing the mental resilience to keep going, no matter the obstacles. It's about shifting from a fixed, limiting perspective to one that is growth-oriented, adaptable, and determined. By consciously working to strengthen your mindset, you create a solid foundation for achieving your goals and overcoming life's challenges, ultimately unlocking your full potential and living a more empowered, fulfilling life. Chapter 6: Mastering Emotional Control. Mastering emotional control, one of the most powerful skills you can develop for personal growth and success, as it allows you to take full charge of your responses to life's challenges and obstacles. It's the foundation for emotional intelligence, which enables you to recognize, understand, and regulate your emotions in a way that aligns with your deeper goals and values. Our emotions are powerful. They influence how we see the world, how we interact with others, and how we approach situations. However, without emotional control, emotions can take the lead, often pushing us into actions that are based on impulse, fear, or insecurity. By mastering emotional control, you are not suppressing your emotions, but instead gaining the ability to understand and manage them in ways that support your well-being and success. You begin to recognize when emotions like anger, frustration, or sadness arise and, instead of reacting immediately, you learn to pause and reflect. This pause is critical. It gives you the mental space to consider how best to respond in a way that aligns with your values and goals, rather than simply being driven by the emotion itself. A significant aspect of mastering emotional control is learning to identify the root causes of your emotions. Often, we experience emotional reactions without fully understanding why we feel a certain way. These emotions can be triggered by a variety of factors: past experiences, unspoken fears, or unmet expectations. The more you develop self-awareness, the more you understand the emotional triggers in your life and can identify patterns in your responses. For example, if you notice that you react with anger when confronted with criticism, you might begin to realize that beneath that anger is a fear of failure or feeling inadequate. This realization allows you to address the underlying issue instead of merely reacting to the surface emotion. Mastering emotional control requires not only understanding your emotions, but also accepting them. Emotions are a natural and valuable part of being human. They provide insight into your needs, desires, and boundaries. Rather than viewing them as something negative, mastering emotional control is about learning to respect them, acknowledge their presence, and use them as a guide for more mindful and intentional actions. Emotions don't have to control you, but understanding them gives you the power to control how you use them. A key component of emotional control, emotional regulation, which refers to the ability to influence the intensity, duration, and expression of your emotions. Emotional regulation doesn't mean avoiding or repressing emotions. It means developing the ability to adjust your emotional responses based on the context and what is most beneficial for you. For example, if you're in a heated discussion, emotional regulation allows you to manage your reactions so that you don't escalate the situation further. You may choose to take a deep breath, step back, and respond calmly instead of letting frustration into an argument. It also involves choosing how to process emotions such as sadness, grief, or disappointment without letting them consume your mental and emotional energy. You may experience these emotions, but instead of letting them dictate your actions or mindset, emotional regulation helps you acknowledge them, process them healthily, and then move forward with clarity and purpose. Mastering emotional control also enables you to improve your interpersonal relationships Emotional responses often play a central role of how we connect with others. Without emotional control, it's easy to misinterpret others' actions, overreact to minor situations, or even cause conflict unintentionally. Emotional regulation allows you to respond to others in a way that is balanced, compassionate, and thoughtful. It helps you communicate more effectively, as you are less likely to let anger or frustration cloud your judgment when interacting with friends, family, or co-workers. Instead of being reactive and letting emotions dictate your conversations, emotional control encourages you to listen actively, express your feelings calmly, and understand where the other person is coming from. This leads to healthier, more harmonious relationships where both parties feel heard, respected, and understood. Furthermore, emotional control enhances your ability to stay focused on your goals and maintain a positive outlook, especially in the face of adversity. Life is unpredictable, and setbacks, challenges, and disappointments are inevitable. However, people with emotional control have the ability to stay grounded and focused during tough times, rather than allowing negative emotions like anger, fear, or disappointment to derail their progress. They can feel the emotions in response to setbacks, but do not let those emotions cloud their judgment or keep them stuck. Instead of feeling defeated, they use their emotional awareness to find constructive ways to cope with stress, problem solve, and adapt to the situation. Emotional control also involves learning how to use emotions as a motivational tool. When faced with obstacles, rather than letting frustration or doubt take over, you can channel those emotions into determination and action. For example, a feeling of frustration about not achieving a goal can be transformed into the motivation to find new strategies, work harder, or adjust your approach. Emotional control gives you the flexibility to choose how you use your emotions, so they work in service of your long-term success. Another essential aspect of emotional control is stress management. Stress is a common emotional response, and without effective control, it can overwhelm you, leading to burnout, anxiety, or a lack of productivity. Learning how to manage stress through emotional control involves recognizing when stress is starting to affect your mental or physical health and taking proactive steps to mitigate its impact. This can involve practices like mindfulness, deep breathing exercises, journaling, or other relaxation techniques that help you regain a sense of calm and clarity. Emotional control in times of stress allows you to stay in a problem-solving mode instead of getting lost in worrying or panic. By practicing emotional regulation, you develop resilience to stress, allowing you to bounce back from difficult situations more effectively. Mastering emotional control also plays a vital role in boosting self-esteem and self-confidence. When you consistently manage your emotions, you reinforce a sense of self-mastery and self-respect. You learn to trust yourself to handle any situation, knowing that no matter how intense the emotions may be, you have the tools to navigate them. This self-assurance builds over time, creating a positive feedback loop where you feel more confident in your abilities and decisions. Instead of doubting yourself or second-guessing your reactions, emotional control fosters a sense of inner strength and calm, enabling you to approach life's challenges with clarity and confidence. You stop letting your emotions control you and instead take control of your emotions, knowing that you can handle whatever comes your way with grace and poise. Additionally, mastering emotional control is key to personal growth. When you can control your emotional reactions, you free up mental energy to focus on learning and developing new skills. Emotional control helps you become more objective, allowing you to evaluate situations and decisions more logically. This objectivity leads to clearer thinking, better decision-making, and a more effective approach to personal and professional growth. It also prevents emotions like fear or doubt from holding you back from taking risks or seizing opportunities. By regulating your emotional responses, you can act with confidence, take calculated risks, and push yourself beyond your comfort zone in pursuit of your goals. Another powerful aspect of mastering emotional control is the ability to maintain a positive attitude, Even during difficult times, life is full of ups and downs, but your emotional response can make all the difference in how you experience those moments. Mastering emotional control means learning to maintain optimism and hope, even when things aren't going as planned. It allows you to reframe negative situations in a way that highlights opportunities for growth and learning. Instead of becoming discouraged, you can use challenging experiences to build resilience, adapt to change, and stay focused on your long-term goals. Emotional control empowers you to maintain a sense of perspective, where setbacks become temporary and not defining moments in your journey. Lastly, mastering emotional control involves developing the capacity to practice self-compassion. When things go wrong, or when emotions become overwhelming, it's easy to be hard on yourself. Self-criticism can amplify negative emotions, causing you to spiral into feelings of guilt, shame, or inadequacy. Instead, emotional control teaches you to practice kindness and understanding towards yourself. This means recognizing that it's okay to feel emotions, that you are human, and that mistakes or setbacks are part of the learning process. Self-compassion helps you bounce back from emotional challenges with a sense of understanding and grace, knowing that your emotions are valid, but they don't define your worth or your ability to succeed. Mastering emotional control ultimately empowers you to live a more intentional, balanced, and fulfilling life. It enhances your emotional intelligence, strengthens your relationships, boosts your personal growth, and helps you stay focused on your long-term vision, regardless of the emotional challenges you may face along the way. Chapter 7. Taking action and staying committed. Taking action and staying committed is a fundamental aspect of achieving any goal or vision, as it transforms dreams and intentions into real, measurable results. While many people may set goals or wish for change without consistent action, those goals remain intangible and unfulfilled. The act of taking action allows you to move beyond mere thoughts or plans and begin the practical work necessary to make progress. It involves making decisions, whether big or small, that are aligned with your vision and making sure that you follow through with them. It's easy to feel motivated at the beginning, but maintaining that momentum and commitment over the long haul requires a deep sense of discipline, focus, and persistence. Each action you take, no matter how small, is a step closer to your desired outcome. It's not just about working hard, but working smart, prioritizing tasks, and ensuring that your actions are consistent with the bigger picture of where you want to be. The challenge many face is in maintaining that commitment when the initial excitement fades, when faced with distractions, when self-doubt creeps in, or when obstacles arise. Staying committed means making a conscious decision every day to continue taking action, even when the results are not immediately visible, or when it seems like progress is slow. It's about understanding that success is not a linear path, but a series of steps, some of which may be uphill or full of setbacks. However, the key is not to get discouraged by those setbacks, but to embrace them as part of the process, learning from each challenge and finding ways to continue moving forward. One of the first steps in taking action is breaking down larger, more overwhelming goals into smaller, actionable tasks. Often, people become paralyzed by the enormity of their ambitions, but when you focus on small, achievable tasks, the entire process becomes more manageable and less intimidating. Taking consistent, focused action in small increments builds momentum and creates a sense of accomplishment, reinforcing the belief that progress is possible. As you complete these smaller tasks, you develop a sense of discipline that propels you to continue. When you break down your goals, you also become more adaptable, able to adjust your approach as needed without feeling overwhelmed or defeated. Staying committed means developing a mindset that embraces flexibility, where you are willing to adapt your strategies, refine your methods, and continue progressing, even when things don't go as planned. It's about trusting in the process and knowing that every step, even if it feels insignificant in the moment, brings you closer to your larger vision. To stay committed, you also need to cultivate resilience, the ability to bounce back from failures, setbacks, and disappointments. No journey towards success is without obstacles. You will encounter challenges, and you will make mistakes, but those should not be seen as reasons to give up. Instead, they should be viewed as learning experiences. Resilience is the skill that allows you to face difficulties without losing sight of your goals, and it comes from the mindset that failure is not a reflection of your ability, but rather an opportunity for growth. The ability to keep going, even when things are difficult, requires a strong sense of purpose. When you are deeply committed to a goal, you are less likely to be swayed by short-term failures or detours. Instead, you use those experiences to recalibrate, learn, and adjust your course. It's about maintaining the long-term vision and not letting temporary challenges dictate your future. Staying committed is about developing the mental toughness to persist even when things seem uncertain or when the effort feels immense. Another key element in staying committed is the ability to manage your energy and focus. Taking action involves both mental and physical energy, and being able to manage that energy efficiently is crucial for long-term success. It's important to recognize when you need rest or a change of pace, as pushing too hard can lead to burnout. Staying committed doesn't mean working non-stop or sacrificing your well-being. Instead, it means finding balance, where you can take time to recharge, reflect, and restore your energy so that you can continue acting with purpose and intention. Staying focused on your tasks requires discipline and the ability to resist distractions. In a world full of constant notifications, noise, and competing priorities, the ability to stay focused on the task at hand is a valuable skill. This requires creating an environment that supports your work, setting boundaries with your time, and developing the mental discipline to block out distractions. With a sharp focus, each action you take becomes more effective, as you are working with full intention, rather than being pulled in multiple directions at once. Commitment to action also involves being realistic about your expectations. Success doesn't happen overnight, and taking action is a process, not an event. The journey to achieving your goals will take time, and it's essential to remain patient while staying committed to your actions. In order to stay on track, you need to set realistic deadlines and milestones, celebrating small wins along the way. It's important to acknowledge the progress you've made, rather than constantly focusing on the distance left to travel. This helps maintain motivation and provides a sense of accomplishment, which can fuel further action. Staying committed means taking the time to reflect on how far you've come, rather than just looking at how much further you need to go. Acknowledging your progress provides the energy needed to keep going. When you commit to taking action, you also develop a strong sense of accountability. This accountability can come from both external sources, such as mentors, coaches, or partners, and internal sources, like personal responsibility. Being accountable for your actions helps you stay on course, as you are continually reminded of the promises you made to yourself. It helps you measure progress, assess what's working, and stay motivated to continue even when the going gets tough. Accountability allows you to take ownership of your success and your setbacks, ensuring that you stay actively engaged in the process of growth and development. When you are committed to your goals, you don't look for excuses, you look for solutions. It's about taking full responsibility for the actions you take, and understanding that your results are a direct reflection of your effort, consistency, and persistence. Staying committed to action also requires maintaining a sense of optimism and belief in yourself. There will be moments when doubt and fear arise, especially when progress seems slow or when the task ahead feels daunting. But commitment is about developing a belief that you have the capacity to succeed, no matter the challenges you face. Confidence in yourself and your abilities is a key factor in staying committed. When you believe that your actions will eventually lead to success, you are more likely to stay motivated, even when the road ahead looks uncertain. This self-belief allows you to take risks, push yourself beyond your comfort zone, and keep moving forward despite the fear of failure or discomfort. The more you take action and stay committed, the more you start to develop a sense of personal pride in your work. Commitment builds integrity. Staying true to your word and following through on what you set out to do. This not only strengthens your self-esteem, but also shapes the way others view you. Being known as someone who takes consistent action and remains dedicated to their goals builds trust, credibility, and respect from those around you. It encourages others to support your efforts, and it reinforces your own belief in the power of your commitment. Ultimately, taking action and staying committed is the key to transforming your goals into reality. Action is the fuel that drives progress, and commitment is the persistence that ensures you keep going. By taking small, focused steps, remaining resilient through setbacks, managing your energy, and staying accountable to yourself, you create a solid foundation for success. The combination of action and commitment is the force that propels you toward achieving your dreams and living the life you envision, one step at a time. Conclusion. The conclusion of the book is a profound reflection on the core message of personal transformation and the limitless potential that lies within every individual. It reinforces the central idea that lasting change begins from within, and that, in order to rebuild yourself, you must first recognize your own power to shape your destiny. The process of rebuilding isn't a one-time event or a quick fix, it's an ongoing journey of growth, self-reflection, and intentional action. The book emphasizes that true fulfillment comes not from external validation or the approval of others, but from an unwavering commitment to your own path, goals, and values. By focusing on developing internal strength, emotional control, and unshakable discipline, you create a foundation for long-term success, happiness, and self-satisfaction. The conclusion highlights that challenges and setbacks are an inevitable part of life, but they do not define you unless you allow them to. Rather than seeing obstacles as reasons to give up, you are encouraged to view them as opportunities for growth, resilience, and refinement. The power to overcome difficulties lies not in avoiding them, but in how you respond to them, how you use the lessons learned from adversity to strengthen your character and enhance your mindset. By maintaining focus on your inner journey and consistently taking action aligned with your personal values, you unlock the door to true personal freedom and success. Furthermore, the conclusion emphasizes the importance of self-awareness and introspection in this process of rebuilding. As you progress through life, it is essential to regularly evaluate where you are, where you've been, and where you want to go. This reflection allows you to adjust your approach, refine your goals, and ensure that your actions are always moving you closer to your highest potential. The idea that personal growth is a lifelong journey is key in the conclusion, reminding you that the process of self-improvement is never static. Each step you take on your path is an opportunity for further discovery, greater resilience, and a deeper connection to your authentic self. By consistently choosing to invest in your personal development, you begin to manifest your fullest potential, transforming not only your life, but the lives of those around you as well. The conclusion also underscores the idea of intentional action, taking purposeful, deliberate steps every day toward the life you want to create. It is easy to get caught up in the busyness of daily life, but true transformation requires that you prioritize what matters most and focus your efforts on actions that align with your larger goals. This sense of purpose and clarity of vision enables you to navigate life's distractions, pressures, and challenges with a clear sense of direction. Staying committed to taking action, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, creates momentum that propels you forward. Each action is a building block, and over time, they accumulate into significant progress and tangible results. The conclusion reminds you that success doesn't happen overnight, but is the result of consistent effort, discipline, and unwavering commitment. It's about setting clear intentions, creating achievable goals, and following through on them with persistence and resilience. Another key theme in the conclusion is the transformative power of mindset. The way you view yourself, the world, and your potential has an enormous impact on the actions you take and the results you create. A positive, growth-oriented mindset enables you to see opportunities in every challenge, growth in every setback, and progress in every effort. The conclusion stresses the importance of developing this mindset, which requires conscious effort, practice, and perseverance. The more you cultivate a mindset of possibility and abundance, the more you begin to unlock doors to new opportunities and experiences. This mindset also supports your emotional resilience, enabling you to stay grounded and focused even in times of uncertainty or difficulty. With the right mindset, no challenge feels insurmountable because you trust in your ability to navigate through it, learn from it, and emerge stronger on the other side. The conclusion also explores the idea of letting go of limiting beliefs that hold you back from fully stepping into your potential. Many people struggle with fear, self-doubt, and feelings of inadequacy, but these are all rooted in limiting beliefs that can be challenged and overcome. The book emphasizes that the power to shift your beliefs lies within you, and once you break free from the constraints of fear and self-limitation, you open up a world of possibilities. Letting go of these limiting beliefs allows you to take bolder action, pursue your dreams without hesitation, and live in alignment with your highest values and ambitions. The conclusion encourages you to embrace the process of unlearning the narratives that have held you back, replacing them with empowering beliefs that support your growth and potential. Moreover, the conclusion touches upon the importance of self-compassion and patience in the rebuilding process. Personal growth can often feel slow or challenging, and there will be times when you feel like giving up or questioning your progress. However, the key to staying committed is to practice kindness toward yourself, understanding that growth is not always linear, and setbacks are part of the journey. Every step you take, no matter how small, is progress, and it is important to acknowledge and celebrate those moments. Self-compassion ensures that you are gentle with yourself during the difficult times, allowing you to continue moving forward with grace and confidence. This practice also helps you avoid self-criticism, which can lead to feelings of frustration or stagnation. By being patient and understanding with yourself, you create a sustainable path toward your goals, one that honors your individual pace and process. In addition, the conclusion highlights the interconnectedness of all aspects of personal development. Rebuilding yourself is not just about improving one area of your life, it's about aligning every part of yourself toward your vision for the future. Emotional control, mindset, discipline, action, and commitment all work together to create a holistic transformation. As you strengthen one area, the others naturally follow suit, creating a synergistic effect that amplifies your growth. The more you focus on rebuilding yourself and staying true to your path, the more you begin to see the positive changes manifest in your life both internally and externally. The conclusion emphasizes that this holistic approach to personal development is the key to lasting success, fulfillment, and happiness. Ultimately, the conclusion reinforces the idea that the journey of rebuilding yourself is ongoing and ever-evolving. As you continue to take action, stay committed, and grow, you will discover new layers of your potential and uncover new depths of your strength. The work doesn't stop once you reach a particular goal or milestone. Rather, each success is an invitation to continue growing, learning, and improving. Rebuilding yourself is a lifelong pursuit, one that brings continuous joy, fulfillment, and empowerment. By embracing this process, you not only transform your own life, but also become an inspiration to others, showing them that they, too, have the power to rebuild themselves and create the life they desire.